right, so Deb is coming to join us shortly. We are going to be talking about how to WattCon, not how not to WattCon, because that's what I looked at earlier, and some best tips and tricks on how to make the best of your WattCon experience. You guys have had like a lot of experience with festivals and conventions for like over the past 10 years alone. As you started your book writing journey, Tamara, I know you've been to a few author conventions as well as other conventions, so I'm very excited to hear what you have to say. Okay, Deb is on Instagram. Come on, right? Okay, she's texting me. All right, and Jane, I know you've had quite a bit of experience. You've shared some of your tips already as well in our little ongoing series that we're going to have finished by the time WattCon happens on November 19th, which is next Saturday. So yes, 1 week from now. Imagine that. 2 years about WattCon, and we are back. But before we start, can I get you guys to introduce yourself? Tamara, do you want to go first?
Hi, I'm TamaraLush. I'm the author of Drive and Crash, and I'm a Wattpad author. I also write cozy mysteries. I live in Florida. I'm also coughing.
Hi, I'm Jane Peden,
Okay.
and I'm a Wattpad creator. I also live in Florida, like Tamara, very close to Tamara, as a matter of fact. And I have a lot of experience going to conferences. I write contemporary romances and thrillers, and for years I've gone to the Romance Writers of America, RWA, huge conferences that are like 3,000 writers taking over an entire hotel. And I've also gone to a lot of very small regional conferences as well. Happy to be here today.
Oh, I cannot get straight.
Oh dear, you're not straight anymore. You're down on the side. You're upside down.
I'm sideways.
Yeah, how can you fix that?
I don't know how to fix it.
Oh boy.
Oh wait, here we go. I see a thing. Oh, there's my socks.
Yep.
Oh no, that just turns it around.
Yeah, I think your thing may be locked.
Oh, I'm locked. Okay.
Okay, so
Sorry.
while Deb figures that out, I'm Rodney V. Smith. That is literally my name on Wattpad. I'm Rodney V. Smith, and I'm the one of the founders of WritersConnX, along with Deb here, who's currently sideways.
I am locked.
Yeah, and a whole lot of really good people from the Wattpad Stars community. Deb, what are we going to do with you?
I don't know. I think I will go off and I'll try on my phone.
Okay, yeah, and I'm trying to lock the rotation. Okay. Here we are, presenting ourselves as the experts in conventions. Thankfully, it's not on how to do videos. Okay, well, while Deb comes back, I've been to a couple of book conventions, but most of my convention experience is going to Fan Expo. We're selling books and a lot of film festivals over the past 14 years or so. It's the biggest one, especially the Toronto International Film Festival, and you learn a lot of stuff just about networking and putting yourself out there that translates across pretty much all professional areas. So I wanted to share some of my experience, and we discussed it, and actually made a huge list of tips that we can deliver in bite-sized bits. But if you would like to discuss any important ones, I feel like I should be waiting for Deb here because she has some really good ones too. Jane, you want to start us off?
Sure. One tip that I have when you're at a conference, it's a great thing to meet other editors, to try to meet publishers. When you're at WattCon, everybody wants to meet people that are, on staff at Wattpad, and that's fine. But always remember to be courteous and polite. If you see someone, an author who you really follow and love, or you see an editor, don't walk up to them and interrupt them when they're in the middle of talking to somebody else. And yeah, here's my top tip is don't stalk them. Don't follow them into the bathroom and slip your promotional materials, your business card and your a link to your story under the bathroom stall. And
Okay,
you may laugh at this, but people have done this.
Let's slow down a little bit. You're just giving them all of it right now. We'll get a half an hour or so to think. So let them breathe, and let's go through the tips one by one. Let me come back to you 1 second. Let's introduce Deb, and Deb. Now that you are,
I am right side up.
Yes, you are.
It happens every once in a while where I end up the right way, the right direction. So
okay, Deb, you want to introduce yourself and give us a little bit of your experience on conventions?
Oh, sure, I can do that. So I am Debra Goelz, and I'm known on Wattpad as Brittany Charmantine, author of Mermaids and the Vampires Who Love Them and other stories. And I actually was at the very first WattCon in London. It was 2014, I think. And I was part of the planning of that with Vic James and Taryn Matharu. And I was on a panel there. So that was my first experience. And I got to meet the most lovely people. Excuse me. And then a year or two later, I was one of the planners of the first New York WattCon, which was a blast. And then I was at the Wattpad planned New York WattCon as well on a panel there. And I missed the Toronto one.
Yes, you did.
Because I was in London actually during that. I watched it with a bunch of London pals online. So it's really fun to watch online too, actually.
Okay, well, they're doing that again this year, so.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm going to be online at some point representing WritersConnX too. So we'll have more information about that coming. And then now is my first West Coast. I actually kind of tried to get a West Coast WattCon going years ago. And never, it was when we were sort of planning our own WattCons, not, it wasn't something that Wattpad put together. But I was unable to get enough West Coast writers to do that. So anyway, so I'm super pumped and excited about the West Coast.
Okay, Tamara, I believe you and Jane meet at WattCon?
We knew each other before the New York WattCon, the last New York WattCon, but we met up there. We actually ended up going to a really cool Broadway show together and had drinks together. So that was fun. But yeah, I've been to WattCon and RWA in New York and Denver and Orlando and some other writer and journalism conventions. So yeah, I'm very much an introvert. I'm not a big crowded event person. So I would definitely say that if you're an introvert, sort of plan your day. It helps it, like today I went through and did my whole itinerary for my time in Los Angeles. It really helps to know where you're going to be and when. So you can kind of plan some downtime in it. I always try to plan a little bit of downtime because I know that I get overwhelmed really easily.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest tips one of the very first things I actually wrote about the tips was, and this applies to all introverts and people coming out to meet everyone for the first time and still being very nervous, is that everyone there wants to meet you. It's not like you're actually in a room full of strangers. These are people, and especially since we have the Discord that can link us, and we've been linking on the Discord for the past couple of years, that we actually know people there now at WattCon. So you're definitely not entering into a room full of strangers. There are people that know you, and the people that know you can introduce you to other people you don't know.
Yeah.
Okay, Jane. let's get back to some of your experiences, because you told this very interesting story about someone slipping a manuscript under the bathroom stall door.
Right.
What the heck?
Yeah, that's not a good way to impress an editor. And that's a story that happened at RWA a number of years ago, and that writer is still being talked about, not in a good way.
Oh.
So you do not want to do that. That's not how you sell your book. So you want to be courteous, and also, be flexible when you're there. As Tamara said, have a plan for your day, but also don't be afraid to change your plan. I mean, there's no session that that it's life or death that you go to. And if suddenly you find out that a writer you admire is kind of holding court in the bar or the coffee shop, and go sit in, see who you can meet, and kind of keep an open mind, because you don't really know what you want to do. And kind of along with that, sit in the back if you're not sure what all you want to sit in on, because you can go to a session and get up and leave and go to another one if you decide that maybe this wasn't what you thought it was going to be. It's easy to do that unless you're sitting front row center right in front of the speaker, in which case I don't advise it. But slip out and go into another session and be flexible, and don't always go. It's great to see familiar faces, but it's also nice to go sit down next to somebody you've never met and make a new friend. So that's some of the pointers I have.
Yeah, one of the things that I have learned to excel at is, if I don't know someone in the room, I'm going to find someone who also looks like they don't know someone in the room, and meet them, and then try to introduce them to other people. And it just kind of snowballs from there. It doesn't work for everybody, but if you can find someone with similar energy, you can really work your way out there, and eventually everybody kind of knows you because you connected everybody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it also helps. It also helps to have like an idea of who you want to meet at the conference. Like if you want to meet a particular editor or a particular agent or a particular writer, it helps to know that, and then you can approach them not in the bathroom stall, but in a non-creepy, non-terrible way. Like when I went to WattCon in New York, I knew that I wanted to meet Alan Lau. And so I kind of approached him at the coffee station and said hi. And, I got a little something out of it. So I feel like that was very fruitful, and I wanted to meet him. But you'll probably see people speaking on panels, and you may want to approach them afterward. And that's a great time to approach an author or an editor, is right after the panels.
And the thing is, oh my God, I just read something and I forgot. Okay, I'm such a bad moderator here. Deb, I'm gonna pass it over to you so you can fill the silence here.
Okay. What would you like to know?
Give me some more tips. Give me some stories.
Okay. Well, I mean, are we supposed to repeat the ones that we've already done? Does anyone want to hear my underwear story?
Yes, please. I was going to ask you, but eventually, but go ahead.
So this actually took place at WorldCon, and it was in San Jose, and I was there with a few other lovely writer friends, and I realized that I had not packed underwear, and I was going to be there for, I think, 2 or 3 days. And the thing about downtown San Jose is that there are no shops open on the weekends. It's just a kind of dead zone. And I went all over town hunting for underwear, and I really learned a lesson at that point, which was to carefully pack when you're going to anywhere, obviously, but when you're going to a con, make sure you pack everything, not just the underwear, but socks and layers, because sometimes it's very cold in a conference room. So you want to be able to put on and take off as you need. I know, the stress droplet. Yes, Rebecca, it was awful. So have your water bottle. I think that was another one of our tips. Have money, don't forget some American money, have some cash with you. And
I think we mentioned that what everybody has their the credit cards, and a lot of people have it on their phones.
right.
But cash is going to be very important.
Right. And we found that out, I think, I can't remember where it was, but there was like a big outage in Toronto where nobody's phones were working. And do you remember this? It was at our WattCon last year.
No, it was the entire power thing went down.
Yeah, the power grid went down. So, like, you just don't know what's going to happen. So be prepared. Let's see, have a notebook or a way of taking notes, and yeah, I think that's about it. Just think about what you need, what you use every day, and make sure you've got it with you.
Okay, well, Kaylee is asking about any tips for networking for newer writers who may be going. Anybody want to tackle this, or should I jump in?
I have a tip. Oh. Actually, I have a tip for this. Everybody now almost everybody wants to be on social media. So if you are a newer writer and you see a writer that you would like to connect with, ask them if they'd like to get a selfie with you. And I'm sure that they will say yes. And then that's a really good introduction to be able to talk to them, because everybody wants to be promoted by somebody else. So approach them and ask them for a selfie, and then start chatting with them.
I remember the point that I was going to make earlier, and it ties very neatly into this. Wattpadders, Wattpad stars, Wattpad creators, we are all people. We're perfectly normal. Some of us a little bit wacky, but so don't be starstruck. Now, I know at Fan Expo, Mason, I'm sorry, Mason, I have to do this to you, but she admitted that she was completely starstruck by you, Tamara, because she was the first time meeting you, and I've known you for a couple of years now, and I'm like, what? Why? This is just Tamara, and people don't take that into consideration, that they just want to be normal, and you're just out there just writing your best work. So don't be starstruck. Definitely approach people.
Don't be starstruck.
Yeah, the whole thing is said about everybody wants to meet you. If you're interesting, you're cool, and you're not going to creep anybody out, just come up and introduce yourself, and we are going to be so happy to meet you.
Yes, that's right.
Plus, we get to introduce you to all our cool friends.
Another point, if you're if you know there are specific Wattpad authors you really want to meet, and you're nervous about what you're going to say to them, think of something in advance. Like, think of a line like, come up to Rodney and say, I really like this scene of Bob, in your vampire book, and have something in mind that breaks the ice, because otherwise you can walk up, say hello, introduce yourself, and you just stand there not knowing what to say. So think of something about them. People like it when you say something about them, rather than you coming right up and saying, hi, I'm a new writer and I'm writing blah, 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 and going on. Say, oh, I'm really happy to meet you, because I really enjoy your mermaid book, Deb, for example, or come up to, to Tamara and say, I just read your new book in Wattpad books and I was so excited. And so you have something to say and you don't get caught tongue-tied.
I've got a puppy. I'm sorry. I was distracted by that. I have my dog was on my lap. I think everybody here has a dog. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. It seems to be a writer thing right now. Well, that and cats.
So I have a comment about going up to people and feeling comfortable or whatnot, because I'm actually I'm an introvert who can pretend to be an extrovert, but only for a limited period of time. Then I have to go back to my cave for a little bit. But it's just to sort of switch your point of view here, which is that the writers, everyone there is there to meet other people too. So, and we all want, I want to meet writers that I admire, and I hope to meet people who enjoy my writing or have questions for me. It's like an honor to have someone come up to you and say, I love what you're writing, and you have advice for me or whatever. That makes me just as happy as it makes you. So don't feel like you're imposing. Feel like you're going to make somebody happy.
Wise words, very wise words. Okay, let me take a look over here. So we covered homework. We covered the hydration issue. Tell us why it's so serious to be hydrated.
Oh, well, California is very dry. I mean, I live in Florida where it's very humid, and especially if you're at home drinking water all the time. California is a dry climate and maybe drier than you're used to. And hotel rooms are notoriously dehydrating. So it really helps and it keeps you awake. The more hydrated you are, it keeps you awake. So it's very helpful to stay hydrated.
I'm drinking my water right now.
Right. And also, yes, you're going to be at the bar, and yes, you're going to be with others. Like, try not to start drinking too early, if you can, because that will also dehydrate you.
Yes, I had planned to just spend the day at the bar, but I'm not going to be there this time, so I'm going to be spending the day at my desk at the bar instead.
Well,
so I hope to catch everyone on the stream, and maybe we don't know the full details yet, but maybe there'll be an actual way for online attendees to interact. So we'll see.
Oh, that'd be good.
But I'm going to miss not meeting all of you guys in one place.
This is not acceptable, Rodney.
Circumstances dictate otherwise.
You're going to make me fly to Toronto to meet you.
Well, I have a cake for you.
I can't wait for my cake.
Yes, I know.
I love it.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so next one. Okay, we have we covered notes. We covered the introversion thing. Find a place to treat, rest, and recharge. Okay, so know what you want out of the event. Did you get that? What about meeting people from HQ? Because I know everybody always wants to meet people from HQ. Tamara, you touched on meeting Alan. Has anybody else met other people from HQ?
Mm-hmm. I did when I was, I met Leah when I was in WattCon in New York City in 2018. And it was a great opportunity because we got to, I was sitting in the big conference room where someone was presenting, and I thought of an idea to pitch, and I just talked to Leah, and we talked about the story I had in mind, and it was a really great experience because I found people at HQ are really willing to interact and talk about story. They love talking about story. So that was a good experience. And now after that I had someone that I felt I had a connection with going forward.
Yeah, and most times they if they don't recognize the face because they don't really see a lot of our faces, they will recognize the name. Mm-hmm. Most of the times that I've a couple of occasions that I have been to the Wattpad office here in Toronto, because yes, I'm in Toronto. They've always known who I was, and there's always this whole thing you're one of our stars coming through, and they do extend that courtesy to you. So it's if you're ever in Toronto, definitely schedule a trip to come and see and meet the staff at HQ.
I don't know. I don't know the full schedule of WattCon, but I do know that in New York they actually had a time set aside to pitch your stories to editors, and I know that in general, other writing like RWA and other conferences often have a set time where you can actually, it's almost like a speed dating event. I remember one at RWA early on that you could sign up, and you would have to get there and sign up hours in advance in order to be able to meet a Harlequin editor and pitch them. I'm sure Jane remembers that. And that was a very stressful thing. And, a lot of people got published that way. A lot of romance authors got published that way or got agents that way in pitching at RWA. So I don't know if they'll do this at WattCon, but it's not uncommon to have that at conferences. So that's always a great way to meet people.
To follow up on that, it's nice too. It's really good too. Even if there's not an opportunity to pitch, if you just meet someone, then you have a
Yes.
connection. Kind of ironically, I got my agent. My agent was someone I was scheduled to meet with at an RWA conference in Orlando, pitch her, and their plane was delayed and they ended up not coming. So I was disappointed, but I followed up and sent her an email saying, hey, you know, I was scheduled to meet with you and didn't have the opportunity, but can I send you, you know, the first 3 chapters of my story? And she said yes. And, you know, long story short, she's my agent now. So like if you meet someone, at least you have that connection, even if you didn't get to pitch, where you can say, I enjoyed meeting you at WattCon. And I had an idea later that I wanted to bounce off you. So you can do, people are receptive to that.
Yeah, one of the, as a follow-up to that, if you're there, definitely take a business cards if you have them and collect business cards. And one of the things that you want to do at the end of the day, and I know this is usually a best practice for like a multi-day conference, and WattCon is only one day on the 19th, next week. And I think it's going on until like 9 p.m. because of the Watty Awards, is that at the end of the day, or the very next morning at least, go and get those business cards out of your pockets and make a nice stack on your desk, but who you want to reach out to, and send an email, send a follow-up email saying, it was great to meet you at WattCon. Just keep the conversation going.
And if you need to, with the business cards, as you get them, you know, make a little note that may jog your memory, because sometimes you get home and you have a stack of business cards and you don't remember who's who, but you might just say like Rodney, Toronto, something that will jog your memory of who the person is.
Yep, as selfies are also very important. But by all means, take selfies with the staff. They will absolutely love it, because they don't really get to be showcased or to really meet so many authors in person. And when you actually can connect with somebody that you've only seen via email or a couple of text messages on Discord or whatever, it's really cool. So you want to kind of memorialize that. Plus, you get a visual, visual cue of who this person is.
Yep.
Okay, they have released a schedule. You can find out. Yeah, WattCon has released a schedule. So everything is there. We have a couple of Wattpad creator QAs, lots of those going on. There's a studios sell your hook and hook yourself. That's a bit of a mouth twister. Let's see, Wattpad and WWS AMA. Oh, they're talking about the new creator program, the neighbor acquisition, and all about the hundreds of stories being monetized on Wattpad. Cool. But let's get back to some of the tips.
Can I just add one thing?
Sure.
So this isn't that big of a deal, but when you do write to people and say it was a pleasure to meet you and so on, put in the information, the subject line that you met at this conference, because that will give you like a little, like people will tend to read the email. You know, some people get many, many, many emails. This way, you know, they know they've met you in person at the conference and they are more apt to read your email. That's it. Little tiny tip.
Yeah, and it's not like a pitch coming out of nowhere. If they have asked you to pitch only if they've asked you to pitch in your follow-up. You don't want to force yourself on people. They may send you a follow-up and ask you what you're working on. That's always like one of the conversations that you have in person. If you meet an agent or an editor or someone who can actually take your career forward, don't pitch them. Don't be all ready. Oh my God, this is my chance. This is my one chance. That it doesn't work that way, because you're going to go, and even if you have the best pitch prepared, you're going to fumble that pitch, and now you're seen as pushing yourself forward. Let them ask you. There is even if you do the best pitch, one of the biggest questions that no one is ever prepared for, and they are going to look at you and say, "No, that's very interesting. I like that. What else are you working on?" Be prepared to answer that question. Panel, back me up here.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
I was thinking of another tip. Like totally random tip, but I agree. I mean, I think it just really helps to just be yourself and to definitely take the opportunity. Like I'm looking at some of the lineup here. I noticed that they have a stop in to say hi, the creator programs team, ask any questions you might have, ask the questions. Like definitely, if there's a chance to ask questions, ask them. That's what they're there for. And, you know, people who are engaged and enthusiastic go a long way, you know, it being enthusiastic and showing up and being enthusiastic oftentimes goes farther than just raw talent in my book. I don't know.
Yeah, and
it's always
when you get up, when you get up, you should always introduce yourself. Hi, Rodney Smith, author of How Not to Vampire. I have a question about distribution.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we have dead air.
Okay.
I can tell another bathroom story.
The tip that I have is that people should plan on taking notes somehow, either on your phone or in a notebook. I would suggest doing it in a notebook. I would suggest not relying on your phone as much as you normally do, because you want to be immersed in the experience and you want to get out of your phone and be engaged with other people. So if you have a cool notebook, if you want a totally fail-safe way, yes, exactly, a fail-safe way of meeting other authors, get some cool stickers. And like if you're sitting there and you open up your notebook, give the people around you some cute stickers, either of your book, your brand, or just cute stickers. Everybody loves cute stickers. So if you have some and want to give them out, then by all means, give them out, you know, like hand out stickers to people.
Yeah, and one of the apart from the stickers, if you don't just do a business card, you should do something that's going to be visually stunning and can remind people who you are all the time. Because instead of just a name, you're just a name. Your book is your calling card.
Absolutely.
Rodney, since we're days away from WattCon, and that is a very good tip, how do people get lovely business cards like that in a day or 2 days?
This Canva, and then you have some local print shops that can actually produce stuff, and you can go pick up in 24 hours.
Okay.
Well, if you're in North America.
I'm so excited that you're going to make me business cards.
I just volunteered, didn't I? Okay.
You volunteered in front of a lot of people, so I think that's a contract.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, one thing I've done in the past, it's too late now, I think, for this conference, but I give out pens that have my name on them. And people keep pens. I've been to, I throw away paper stuff that people hand me at conferences. Sorry to admit that, but, you know, it mostly never leaves the hotel. It ends up in the hotel wastebasket. But the things that I have kept over the years that people gave me at conferences, pens, you know, my pen has my name on it, and, you know, my Wattpad, you know, author name. And I've done them that have my website on it, something on a pen, that people will keep them. Also, I have kept things. There's a woman who writes books that have to do with cooking, that, you know, they're romances, but there's a chef in it. And one year she passed out little measuring spoons that have her name and her website on it. It was 10 years ago. I'm still using that measuring spoon, and I remember her. All the stuff that, you know, all the bookmarks and those things that people handed out, you know, I don't have any of those anymore. But yeah, something to stand out. And, you know, the pens have always been my go-to for that.
It's funny. I'm still using a water bottle that I got at a conference 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nice and branded and everything. Every time I look at it, I see the logo. It's like, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sarah Royal just had a comment that I saw go by, which was a really good point, which is that during WattCon, people do use their phones and post things on different social media sites. And I think that's terrific. I know someone was live posting a panel I was on last time, and it was fantastic. So,
Yeah.
you know, I think that's a good thing to do.
Yeah, I think
agree
there may be a limit on the live casting, since they're going to be doing a live stream of the event. So I don't know. We'll find out more about the limitations about live streaming, but photos and everything definitely.
Yeah. Just even comments like I'm listening to this panel, and so said this amazing line, and and they post it, and a lot of people get to see it, and maybe we'll tune in and watch the recordings and maybe be a part of the next one. So I think it's all good.
Yeah. I did that a lot when I was at WattCon in New York, and just even silly things like, I posted just a picture of an apple sitting on the table in front of me and said, grab this because I didn't have time for breakfast and didn't want to miss any of this session. I was posting constantly, and I'm a person who, I admit that I do not own a journal. I have a journal that came in my creator's packet, but I don't use journals at all.
Either.
You guys aren't sticker people.
So yeah, I am not a journal person, and I'm taking notes on my phone, and so if you see me walking by with my nose in my phone, shame on me, but that's what I'll be doing.
Yeah, I'm only closing with this. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm the same way.
I'm one of those people that loves notebooks and stickers. So if anybody, I'm actually just going because Caroline Richardson has stickers. Like, that's the only reason I'm going to WattCon. So, but if anybody has stickers, you can give them to me. I actually should get some stickers made up of my logo or something. I don't know. Maybe I have them. But I love stickers, and I think it's a really cute way of just like kind of making friends and just being cozy. So I don't know.
I wish now I wish I'd gotten stickers from you. Maybe gotten stickers for Fan Expo. Dang it. Okay. Oh crap! I lost it. I lost the thread again. Somebody pick it up. Okay. You know what? NB Dalto actually had a tip about imposter syndrome. Okay. Well, I'm just going to read it. But at the end of the day, we are all writers, so we're there to enjoy our time together and celebrate what brought us all together in the first place. Wattpad. It doesn't matter the amount of reads or followers or what badges are there or not there on our profiles. We're all there to meet, greet, write, and learn together.
That's what's awesome about Wattpad too. Everybody at every level is welcome. There's other writing organizations. Take NINC, for example. You can't go, that's Novelist Inc. You can't go to their conference unless you've sold a certain number of books and made a certain amount of money. And, that's one of the things about Wattpad is WattCon, everyone can go. Everyone is welcome. Everyone's included. And, a lot of writing organizations are not like that. They've got a bar you have to get past. And I think that's a shame. And I love the fact that we can have people who have Wattpad creators with books with millions of reads will be there with somebody who's writing their first story. It's really special.
I agree. Writers are the best people.
Mm-hmm.
Every single writer I've ever met at any of these conferences has been a fabulous person, and some of my best friends that in real life now too.
Mm-hmm.
LL Saunders asked about what to carry your water bottle and your notebook and stuff in, and I don't know about you guys, but I am a backpack person. I like having the full use of my arms, so that's how I carry stuff.
Where's your prop, Deb?
Oh.
During the videos, Deb had all of these props all over the time. Oh, there it is.
What? She has a prop.
Okay, fine.
Backpack.
You have defeated me.
I'm a tote person. I love totes. So I'm always I carry stuff around in a tote. So I know it is slung over my arm, but I try to get totes that have a long strap so that you can put it like over your shoulder and have your arms free. But I really do like totes.
Well, I'm going to fail the prop test here because my bag is over there. I'm not going for it. But it's a little bag that can hold an iPad and a very thick book. and it goes around my shoulder very easily, and I can just carry everything in it, multiple pockets and everything. I found it really useful for conventions where I'm not wearing a suit, because you have everything you need just there. Just find something that's comfortable and that you can take around with you the whole day. Not You probably can't put your shoes in it if you have the need to swap shoes for some reason. However, WattCon is being held at the Hollywood Lowe's hotel. So it's not like you have to walk two miles around on the place. It's going to feel like 2 miles at the end of the day. So this actually brings us to our next tip.
Comfortable shoes.
Thank you. Oh my God.
Yes, comfortable shoes.
Wait, do I have? Nope. I don't have any shoes nearby. But yeah, don't wear 12-inch heels. Really, just wear something comfortable.
Yes, comfortable shoes, layer in case it's cold, in case it's hot. I know it's going to be cold feel like it's going to be cold for me, so definitely layer, and have, the satchel, the backpack, whatever you're comfortable with, but yes, so that it can hold all of your stuff. And don't be afraid in between sessions to, go up to your room and just dump the stuff off. Don't be afraid of missing something. Take 10 minutes up in your room if you're staying at the hotel and just chill out, dump your stuff off, empty your bag, and go back downstairs.
Yeah. Speaking of wearing things, are there any rules about masks at this event, or I haven't heard anything?
No, I haven't heard anything at all either. I know in Toronto they're looking to bring back some of the mask mandates, but it's California, so I don't know. I think it's probably at your discretion.
We live in Florida, so it's like cough in my mouth here.
Yeah, no, California doesn't have a mask mandate right now, an indoor mask mandate, but it is a lot of people together in a place with recycled air. So if you feel that you want to wear a mask, then you should wear one. Don't feel like it's a problem.
Yeah. I would personally also, if you're planning on going in person, maybe, this coming week, hit some vitamin C before you go, like do a little bit of vitamin C before you go, try to boost get some good sleep if you can in the days before the conference, because you don't want to go into it exhausted. Just try to go into it being as healthy as you possibly can. So that's what I try to do. I try to just be really gentle on myself. I know it's nano, and I know everybody's trying to crank it out for nano, but especially if you're flying, be gentle on yourself, and try. I know it's hard. I have been in this situation many times, but try not to get super, super drunk Thursday or Friday night. Like, just try. try not, especially Friday night, because you want to go into Saturday being really fresh. So attempt not to drink heavily Friday night.
That's good advice.
Very good advice, and advice that I will be taking since I'm not going to be there in person.
Yeah, but nobody wants to go Saturday into a conference hungover. Saturday night is a whole different thing, but nobody wants to go into a conference hungover. That's just the worst. The lights are terrible, and everybody. It's just you want to go into it solid.
You're there the whole day. That's a big thing there. Right. You don't want to be drunk the whole day.
You don't want to be drunk. You don't want to be hungover. But I will say, when you go, like when you pack your stuff, pack some aspirin, pack some ibuprofen. You may, not just for a hangover, but like you may feel like some pain sitting for hours. So, oh, this is a great question. From Sarah Royal, would there be events following the WattCon sessions, dinner meetup and stuff to talk and network more? Yes, absolutely. There are events following the sessions. There's a Watties, so after the Watties presentation, there is a reception. And I know that some people, I'm getting in on Thursday, so I've already put out on my social media that if anybody's there on Thursday or Friday, I'd like to meet up with you. So if you know that your favorite writer is going, check their social media, because maybe they're going to have some sort of meet and greet at some point. Like, I'm totally open for hanging. I'm not doing anything Friday afternoon. So if you all want to go get coffee with me, great, let's do it. Or go see the Hollywood Walk of Fame or whatever, you know, it's Hollywood, so we could probably do a lot. So yeah, but definitely see what your favorite authors are doing.
Definitely take Tamara up on that, because she's a lovely person and she is fun to hang out with.
Sometimes I try. Well, we, like, for instance, we're like, I put this out on my social media that Jane and I are vegan, and so we're going to try to find a really good vegan place for Thursday night. So if anybody out there, you know, is going to be in town Thursday, wants to have a good vegan meal with us, hit me up and we'll add you to the list of people who are going, and we'd love to hang out with you. You know, if you see your favorite author saying stuff like that, say, hey, meet up with me at the cafe in a half hour. Go do it. If they put it out on social media, they want to meet you, and that's the cool part about this.
Yeah, because especially if you're there saying like, oh my God, I maybe I shouldn't go because then I'm gonna be all awkward. Think about if everybody said that. Your poor author is sitting there. Nobody came.
Right. Right. If I don't want people to meet, then I'm just not going to put it out on social media. Definitely. If I want to just have a private meeting with an editor alone, I'm not going to broadcast that out, you know, and invite people. But if I invite people, everybody is welcome to come and join and partake, you know. So yeah, so definitely I would, you know, for the authors who are going to be there, follow their social media and see what they're planning for events.
Great tip. Okay, any more tips that you guys can think of?
I can give you one more bathroom story.
Sure.
From a conference that I was, everybody loves a bathroom story. There was an RWA conference that I was at some years ago, and they have a big award. It's like the Watties. It's called the Rita. And there was a very well-known author who was among the finalists. She did not win. Someone who was relatively unknown won. And apparently this author was really ticked off. She and a couple people in her entourage went into the ladies' room, and she started ranting about, I can't believe that absolute nobody won, and this is just ridiculous. The absolute nobody was actually in the bathroom stall at the time. Oh. And this story spread through the conference so quickly. A lot of people, including me, never bought one of that author's books again. So my tip is, like, don't say anything bad. I mean, everybody's got their favorites they want for the Watties. You know, don't be standing in the coffee line telling your friend, oh, I can't believe so-and-so's book made the Watties shortlist. You know, that person or their best friend could be right behind you. Nothing can kill your career faster than you being seen as somebody who's trying to put down another author. And you may not like their book, but you know, a rising tide floats all books. Everybody, you know, whenever books win, whenever books are well received, that helps all of us. So, you know, don't be like that. Don't say something negative about any other author.
Right. Save the talking crap to your friends somewhere else, you know. Like, everybody has those author friends who you talk crap with. Save it. Like, Phyllis and Jane and I, we talk at lunch. We, you know, it's off social media. We talk in, you know, in real life. And yes, we are all in this together. And I would also say, and I think this is really important, and I think that we should say this as white creators, I think we should really be mindful of not, I think we should be mindful of two things. I think we should all be mindful of looking at everybody's name tag first before we speak to people, because make sure you wear your name tag and try to, you know, see if somebody has a preferred pronoun that they want, because sometimes probably that will be on the name tag, and ask people how they pronounce their names. I think that's really important, because that's a really respectful thing to do. And I think also as white creators, we need to really be mindful of microaggressions and not assume that, like, the one black person we see is not, you know, we don't name them we don't misidentify them as another Black person. That be really mindful of the people who you're seeing and talking to. I don't know if anybody else can expand on that, but just be mindful of who you're approaching and how you're approaching them, and approach everybody with respect, as if you don't know their name, ask them their name. Don't just assume that they're somebody, because they might not be, and that may be perceived as really disrespectful.
Yeah, remember, I am Rodney V. Smith. I am not Matthew Dawkins. He's much younger, and I'm bald. There you go.
But I mean, I think it kind of needs to be said, because this is something that is talked about after a lot of conferences, especially with creators and authors of color. And I think that it's kind of an important thing to talk about, and just not, I know you're nervous, I know you want to talk to people, but really just pause and ask people, what your name is, how do they pronounce it, what their pronouns are. Just be respectful to other human beings.
That's brilliant.
Right. And just as a side note, my name is pronounced Rodney E. Okay? According to my cousins. They really stretch it out really badly. So.
Oh, okay. Well, I've been calling you different things.
That's not to make light. That's not to make light of the thing. It's just it actually happens. My cousins, they're from Barbados, so they have a different way of actually pronouncing my name with a long E. Okay, so I forgot the tip. Oh, actually, you know what? Jane just hit the tip that I was going to hit, which is don't talk crap about people. Don't be I was going to say don't be a dick, but I can't do that. Oh, I'm sorry, I just did. Okay, never mind. Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
Can't believe it. Right. Okay.
It's the golden rule, people. Treat others the way you want to be treated.
I think we have actually hit most of the tips. So that's actually pretty good, especially within an hour. And we didn't rush through them all. Thank you, Jane.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got to slow you down a little bit. We had a whole hour to go. Okay. All right. Yeah. So I think we covered don't be a stalker, right? Yes, we did.
Yeah.
We did.
Business cards. Okay, so business cards, bags, water bottles, comfortable shoes, cash.
Somebody just mentioned sunscreen. That's a good idea.
You're dreaming
somebody
about
actually
sunscreen.
mentioned, are bloggers recording their journeys? And some people might be. I think I might try to do some lives while I'm there, or maybe some little videos. But I think individual people might be doing some videos. Some people who are really into social media will probably be doing videos. And I think that Wattpad will also have cameras there. So, yes.
Yeah, they'll have cameras that is also going to be a step and repeat where you can go and take photos. So please make sure to go take photos with the Wattpad's logos and signs. There's a couple of booths going on, and you can meet the WritersConnX people. Ooh, me, but it's going to be Deb. I'm sorry for not being there. I was really looking forward to this the whole year, but Deb is going to be participating, and I believe Zoe and Morgan Ryder are going to be in attendance as well. So go and meet them and find out more about what WritersConnX is doing, how we're working with Wattpad, and how we are bringing writers together and just actually living up to the potential of our name, WritersConnX. Remember, you can always find out more information and look at some of our featured writers from the community on WritersConnX.com. We have about 3 minutes left, so any last words you guys wanna hit us with? Any last bits of wisdom?
My last advice would be just to relax. Have a good time at the conference. Don't get your expectations too high. I mean, if you meet a few people, you learn a few things, that's fine. I mean, just enjoy the experience. Don't get so caught up in I need to do this, and this that you don't take time to enjoy it.
Right. This is the first one in years, and it's the first time that we're going to be seeing each other in actual person. The reason we put on WritersConnX last year was because we missed people, and just having that connection virtually was important. I think it was an important touchstone. So it really encouraged Wattpad to say people need this. So I'm glad that they paid attention and brought WattCon back. And you guys you guys, all of you, darn you, I'm so jealous right now, can get together and meet each other and make that connection. So brilliant.
And I think that if you are going, just to answer Sarah's question, I think that if you're going virtually, I think that you get access to the videos after the fact. It's not just live.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
true.
We can't just be there to meet you guys. So anyway.
Well,
Anyway.
my parting advice would be have fun, man. I mean, it's such an amazing thing to hang out with people who you share so much with. And you will have a great time. And yeah, don't worry. Just, be yourself, and it will be a great day.
Absolutely.
Okay, now remember the schedule is posted on the Wattpad site, the WattCon site. I wish I could give you the email address right now, but it's really long. So wattpad.com, Watties, the Watties Awards will be given out at the end of the Saturday night, which is literally 1 week from now. So on the 19th, Lowe's Hollywood Hotel, WattCon 2022. There's going to be a lot of really good people, so get out there, meet them, and don't be nervous. We all want to meet you, virtually and in person.
Yes.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for coming out and giving all this advice. I know we've been talking a lot about what we can do, but I think the biggest thing that I can leave anyone with as we're getting ready to say goodbye is you're flying into LA to the airport. Don't drive. Get a taxi, get an Uber or something. If you were thinking about renting a car, that's possibly the worst thing you can do.
Yes, that's true.
All right.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see everybody.
Yeah. Also, LAX is a crazy place, so leave plenty of time when you leave as well. Sometimes the lines to get through security are insane. So.
Okay, well, we can start planning for WattCon 2023 as soon as this thing is over. So in the meantime, this is going to get posted on our YouTube channel and on our Instagram. You can also see it from WritersConnect.com, which is WritersConnX.com. So we will see you there. Remember, we have a Discord channel, and you can join us in the community. Meet all your fellow authors so that you are never alone. Right, so writing together, striving together. Thanks, guys.
Can't wait to see you, everybody. Bye.
Right, remember, TamaraLush, Jane Peden,
WattCon.
and Debra Goelz. I have been Rodney V. Bye-bye.